Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where last episode we wrapped up our war, although it wasn't really our war, it was our allies' war, but we got a bunch of territory out of it, so I guess that's all good. Did they get much? I guess they got a little. I think we got the lion's share of the territory though, so that's absolutely wonderful. Do we have any jobs that need to be done here? Well, let's give it a month tick. I've noticed sometimes it doesn't show that right away. Okay. So that's a month tick there, and let's take a look through our jobs here. Yeah, it definitely needed to update that, but there aren't any jobs available. So that's fine. We've got all of these forces on their way back to Sol, and that's going to take them a little bit to do. But I would like to grab one of our construction ships that is currently idle, like this one, and have it come down and build research stations to grab these astral threads. We'll do the same thing over in Mendok. And then after that's done, we can head back to Milistamu. Perfect. We probably still won't have the influence by then to build another habitat there. So that'll be fine. We've got a couple of construction ships over here. And we're just waiting on the ability to build more habitats. So that's fine on that front. No problems. We do need to get these fleets upgraded. How's the upgrading going here? Okay. It's going. For sure. It is definitely going. So we're going to need a bunch of minor artifacts. We're only making about 25 per month, and I expect this to be a long-ish term project. This also means it's going to be challenging for us to expand our fleet up to the apparently 7 target fleets that we have right now. That's a lot of Titans. I'm not entirely certain if we want that number of fleets.
Research concluded.
Sure. So we just finished the 4th fleet upgrade, and the 1st fleet is now present. So let's get that upgraded as well. 843 relics. Okay. That's definitely going to be mildly problematic, but that's okay. For now, I think we should go for Titan hull points? Probably. Let's get that done. We've got 13 months on that ancient ruination glare. We're definitely going to be, well, almost definitely going to be upgrading to that. But for now, that is fine. We're back in the relay network, so we should make our way out here quite quickly. Excellent. Lots of people joining the Pan-Galactic Entente, which is these guys down here. Interesting. Well, we just beat them in a war, so with any luck, it won't be anything too major. We do have some planets that need work here, specifically this generator station, and we're slightly negative in our minerals right now, and we're positive in our energy credits. So I'm thinking we should probably build a mineral processing plant here and put in an astral mining bay and upgrade this energy nexus for the time being. Now we're almost out of minerals. I want to buy in 5,000 of them. And this generator station here is maxed out on that front, so we should definitely consider putting in a stronghold. Hi, console. Oh yeah, I forgot that they added this debug view. Okay, yeah, that's been a while since we've looked at the console. But, you know, sometimes you accidentally hit that instead of escape. Okay, so we've got this habitat here. What do we want this to be? That's an interesting question. We don't have orbitals here in Zeldra. In which case, we should move the CAR Mississippi over this way, because absolutely orbitals should be built here. So we'll build a minor orbital here, we'll build a major orbital here, and of course a major orbital here, and that was an arc furnace. That's not actually going to get built there. That's going to get canceled. We're at our cap. So we'll just do this. Okay, so coming back to Zeldra, that needs to get done. For the moment, I'm just going to make this be a robotic assembly plant. That will be good enough for now. Okay, so that sounds good. We do want to get our minerals online a bit, and that arc furnace isn't actually going to be built here. It's fine. Cool. Lots of migration treaties happening. Speaking of which, I want to check in over here and make sure that these are all still on assimilation. They are, and we should be making our way through that relatively quickly. Like, we should be getting those assimilations completed soon.
Enhancement supplied.
but there are a number of them that needs to happen still. And that's actually, hang on, these worlds that we just captured are no longer having issues. Presumably the assimilations down here have finished? Yes, they have. Wonderful. So that is great. So we've got additional fleets returning back to Sol. They can go to Ziran. That would be okay. You can go to Sol. That's fine as well. And you can go to Ziran. That'll be perfect. So we're going to run out of minor artifacts, to be clear. We're not going to have enough minor artifacts to get all of these completed at once. That's okay. We'll just slowly work through that. And we got an orbital built in Akulum. Sure. Looks good. So for now, we're content with this. This generator world needs to be resettled. And where do we want to put you? Well, we can probably put you somewhere on one of these stations. It doesn't really matter. The unification station is an interesting option, actually. So let's do that. And the reason why I say that's an interesting option, we're going to want to get rid of the unification station eventually, probably. But we do have the Unity here. We need to finish off the adaptability tree. That'll get us a building slot, as well as reducing our resettlement cost, which would be very nice. And it'll also give us an Ascension perk. I'm not sure which perk we'll go for just yet, but it would do all of those things. But more importantly, it would free up our Unity for Ascension tiers, which would be very good for us, increasing the effects of planetary designation and reducing the effect on empire size of all of these worlds. So that would be great. Now, for Forge worlds, it's not the best. It's only metallurgist upkeep. But if we look at things like refinery worlds, and to be clear, that is good, but if we look at the refinery world, 15% output. That's quite a thing. Being able to boost that would mean that it's basically equivalent to having 2 ancient refineries. So there's definitely things that we can look into for those Ascension perks, or rather Ascension worlds.
Construction project
So that looks good. Now we are at 18 out of 17 starbases right now, which was not necessarily intended. We should probably downgrade Raman or Redamon. It doesn't matter. They're the same thing. We'll do Raman for now. I don't want to be up over our starbase cap, so we'll just sit at the starbase cap like so. So over here in Salieto, I want to get this upgrading. I want to get this upgrading. We want to make sure that this is upgraded. It is. Okay, that all seems fine. Looks good. No problems there. This industrial world requires a job, and an industrial district is what we'll do. Nothing too major being needed here beyond the industrial districts right now. I'm not sure what we're going to put those last couple of building slots into. We've got one available right now. We're going to get another one from our traditions. So we'll see what that ends up being. This world is full of jobs for right now. And we're going to send that probably again to the unification station and work on bringing up our amount of unity. That's fine. On this tech world, we can definitely build a system capital complex. And that all looks
Shipwreck
good.
Studied. Fascinating.
We should be done with our studies fairly soon over here, right? Okay, we're done in Plath. We've got 2 here and then 4 here. Okay. So that is definitely going to continue to get us additional research, but that'll take a little while. Sounds good. So checking in over here, we've got 98 influence at this time. And how much is it? Actually, we've got 103 now. How much is it going to cost us to build that habitat again? 160. That's pretty expensive.
Fleet enhancement supplied.
Okay. So, we do have some of our fleets finishing up here. So the first fleet is done. The 4th fleet is done. The 5th fleet is done. The 2nd is at 55%, and the 3rd is at 75%. We are out of minor artifacts, so we are queuing up as we get them available. But we're actually further along in this process than I expected. Seems pretty solid. So we're at 60% and 77%. Yeah, that's really, really good. How are we doing on the progress on our Ancient Ruination Glare? 3 months away on that? Okay, so we're definitely going to want to get that upgraded soon enough. That's also going to cost relics. So that's going to be a little bit awkward for us. but it should be fine. This trade station requires a job. We're going to put in a robot assembly complex. This is probably going to end up being a generator station eventually. We're going to be expanding our fleet
Research
relatively
concluded.
soon, but we need to build up our number of relics again. So that's going to take a little while. Let's get these. Oh, we actually just finished this purely from research here. Yeah, that's armored torpedoes. Okay, we don't care about that. Cool. So armored torpedoes is fine. That does buy us a little bit of extra research, so that's all good. And we'll just get these last couple completed. Okay. We gained some energy credits, minerals, and food. Sure, not the biggest thing in the world, but let's get a habitat central control here. What else might we need to do as we go through all of these worlds? Well, the answer is nothing at all. We are up to 1408 empire size,
Construction
so that's
project
definitely
concluded.
up there. But I want to check into our astral actions here. Oh,
Research
34 days
concluded.
here. That is very, very soon. Okay, ancient ruination glares have finished, and we should probably go with something along the lines of... I don't really care about any of this. We'll go for the Galactic Stock Exchange. That'll be fine. Maybe we want to get a trade world going. That said, we should think about a trade station somewhere down here. We should also be thinking... Actually, a trade station in, like, Tau Ceti would probably be really good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to Tiersonia. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to Marfark. Yeah, that would definitely be suitable. And we definitely want to start thinking about building gateways as well, but we're a long ways away on the influence on that. So that's definitely slightly concerning. Influence is tough when you're building this number of habitats. So I guess that's to be expected. Cool. Well, we have more colonization on the way, and we have a lot of things that we're just
Research
doing,
concluded.
right? So we finish up the dark matter resonance chamber, and let's grab... Applied superconductivity 2 would be interesting, but I don't think it's all that necessary. We're going to get quasi-dimensional reflection and just get that out of the way. We're almost to the point of purely repeatable text for our physics research. So that's looking good, but we do want to head in here and upgrade our Titans to probably
Shipwreck
have
study.
the Ancient Ruination Glare. It's significantly more damage. It is... more damage because the cooldown is faster. It's the same range of damage. Same accuracy, same tracking. It is slightly shorter range. So it's a range of 125. However, that is still longer range than our kinetic artillery. So that should be fine. Firing arc is the same, and the damage to various different components, it's less shield damage, but it's more armor and hull damage, which is fine. Our kinetic artillery will take down the shields. So I think that this is absolutely something that we want to do. We can't save this while the second fleet is upgrading, so I'm going to cancel the upgrades here and here. How much does that give us in minor artifacts? None. Okay. Well, that is fine. We're going to save this now, and that means that all of these need to be upgraded. It will take a little bit of time, but we're going to get going on this. There we go. So that's going to require some minor artifacts, and that is understood. We should have those done relatively soon. That's probably our final upgrade, but as we expand our ships, we're going to need more artifacts. No doubt about that. So we have now, I believe that was the explored this wormhole sound. Interesting. So that goes up over here. That is absolutely noted. Okay. Well, for the time being, we don't need the CAR Armstrong to stick around, so that can go away. I do want to get a trade station built in Tau Ceti. I think that would be a useful thing to have. And that might spark some piracy at some point. It's got quite a ways to go. No doubt about that, but I do want to get that going. That's going to put us up over our Starbase capacity, and we need to ask the question, what are we going to do with that? Well, this actually just gave us Okay, so yeah, we found Zarkland. This just gave us some additional minor artifacts. Do we have a relic? Yeah, we should have the Rubricator, shouldn't we? So we can exchange Unity for minor artifacts. If we go into our discoveries, relics, the Rubricator, that'll give us 500 minor artifacts. For 3,000 Unity is not much Unity. That's like slightly over 2 months of Unity. We're going to take the minor artifacts there. We're probably going to eat through those very, very quickly indeed. Yep, they're already gone, but that's okay. That does mean we're going to start making some solid progress here. We are upgrading Titans across the board. Perfect. And there's some Corvette upgrading happening there as well. So that looks good for the moment. The question is, association status? Well, we vote yes on everything. The question is, what station do we want to get rid of? If any, the Strategic Coordination Center is going to finish up eventually, and that is going to allow us to have slightly more stations. So I think we'll probably just be slightly over our station cap for the time being. That should be okay. So our Science Nexus is going to be finishing up in just 100 days. We should have, at this point, Astral Threads to spend. Physics Insight, I just flash forged a hyper relay. That was accidental. I didn't intend to do that. That actually cost us 50 influence. We had enough influence to make a habitat. Well, that's irritating. Where do we want to have a hyper relay? It kind of doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So that's awkward. Very awkward indeed. I wish there was a way to rescind that. As far as I'm aware, there is not a way to rescind it. So we can come in here. Yeah. There's no way to rescind that. So that's just 50 influence down the drain. We'll just have to wait 10 more months. I guess that's not the biggest deal in the world. What are these guys doing? They're just moving around? Okay. Awkward. But sure, I guess that's fine. Well, let's check through our jobs real quick here. What do we have available? Anything? Actually, Alpha Centauri Energy does. Now, this world is, of course, full, and it requires a migration. So we're going to resettle them to probably the Unification Station again. Cool. That'll be fine. We are outputting additional Unity there, and that will be okay. Wonderful. So how are we doing on these upgrades? Well, it's primarily the Titan on a lot of these. But it's going to take a little bit of time. We're not going to have the minor artifacts for a moment on that one. Yeah, that'll definitely take a bit. Well, over here in Tau Ceti, we'll have this starport upgraded in 140 days, and we'll have our Science Nexus in 10. So that is wonderful. That is going to be a good tech boost for us. And it is now fully operational. A big day in the history of our kind. Indeed. So that is 15% research speed plus 300 production across the board. 330 because of the Astral Rift for physics. So that's wonderful. That's a pretty hefty boost. It's like a 10% plus another 15% boost. So that's like a 25% research speed boost. Absolutely astounding. So the Strategic Coordination Center is being worked on right now. What I want to do at this moment is maybe think, do we have another megastructure to build? Interstellar Assembly Site. Do it. Get going on that. So that'll be fine.
Fleet enhancement supplied.
Excellent. So we have a number of fleets that are actually finishing up here. That looks very, very good. We've only got these two going now. This one hasn't even started yet. Presumably it didn't have the minor artifacts. It will go slowly over time. This fleet is started, but I think it stalled due to lack of artifacts. Yeah, we need a lot of artifacts for these corvettes. So that will take some time. We'll just have to wait for those to trickle in. We just had an encounter in Ilix, which we are absolutely interested in doing a first contact for. If we succeed that first contact, that'll give us a bunch of influence, like 80 influence, which is half of what we need to get one of these construction ships operational. So that will be absolutely wonderful. The CAR Discovery is not doing anything out over here, and I don't think we want it to do anything, to be honest. Let's just disband it. If we need another construction ship, we'll make one. The alloys are not a big deal. So that looks good. Artisan Troop. If we commission an art piece, does that boost our influence? Unity. Okay, we'll take that. If we commission an art piece, what do we get? No. We will take the Unity boost, for sure. That'll be a helpful thing. So this should go up by like 130.
Construction project concluded.
We'll see what happens. I don't think that's updated yet. So we just finished our construction queue in some of these stations. We definitely want to upgrade this again, and same here. That'll take some time. And Tau Ceti will finish its upgrade in just 25 days. Perfect. So we're going to immediately start working on trade here. This is, of course, going to be a trade station. We'll proceed on our first contact.
Construction project
Okay, so we want to immediately put in a pair of trade hubs here, and we also want an off-world trading company, and to upgrade that. So that seems good. The CAR Yukon is now able to begin construction. Where are you? You're located over here. Okay, why don't you come on over this way and build a Habitat Central complex. There we go. And then we just need the Mekong to have a job for now. That's looking pretty decent. Hopefully we'll get the influence reasonably quickly. With that first contact, it'll help matters for sure. We could also have this guy hop down to, say, here to flash forge the hyper relay, and then he can go back. He'll be sitting there for a while. We might as well utilize the hyper relay as long as we're there. So, checking in here, we can see that we are done with all of the Corvettes. We're just waiting for the Titan. I'm assuming all of our minor artifacts, though, are currently going into these Corvettes, and yeah, that is certainly true. Okay. So that's fine. We want to let that finish up, and we're eventually going to want to build up our minor artifacts again. Now, we can get 500 minor artifacts from the Rubricator, but it's on cooldown. We can do that every so often. Like, it's not very often. So that is definitely something to consider.
Detected in deep space.
I'm a little surprised that we ran into somebody else. I would have expected we met all of them, but I guess there are some areas over here that we don't exactly see. Sure, well, let's just take a look through our jobs here. This unification station actually requires a job, and I believe there is a couple of buildings to put in here. Let's see, the auto-curating vault is definitely something we want to put in. That would provide... Oh, this is an empire limit now. Interesting. That would provide a politician job. We also want to put in the monument, and that would be another boost, so we'll certainly do that. That will help our production of Unity here, which isn't actually all that high. Well, that's fine.
Research concluded.
Anything else that we need to do through here? Well, we've got these couple of research stations, and an astral siphon in both of these cases seems okay. So that'll be fine. Code breaking has finished, and that looks good. Applied superconductivity is not super necessary right now. These are all repeatable texts, so I'm going to do auto research for physics for now. Okay, society, we have a number of technologies we can still do here. Only one of these is repeatable. Let's grab the collective self for right now. Excellent. And then they're going to go for shield harmonics? Okay, why not? That sounds good. Wonderful. So we've got a bunch of orbitals built. We're just checking in to make sure that these are all still going. How are we doing on the second fleet? It is 41% done upgrading. Okay, this is going to take a little bit. As I said, we're going to run out of minor artifacts. It was obvious that we were going to need more. Okay, so we have established first contact with these guys. That's
An
48
alien empire
influence.
has established
Okay,
communication.
what is to be our fate? We can't actually pay this. Right, because we don't have the energy credits. It doesn't matter. I don't want to pay the influence, so we don't actually care what our fate is going to be. Perfect. Our fate is in our own hands. That's how this works. We're materialistic after all, so perfect. So, at this point, we're mostly just waiting on a bunch of different projects. A bunch of different projects. We've got these going. That'll take some time. We've got all of our constructions going here. And you are heading back to Remen now? Yeah, that won't take you very long, but hopefully we'll have the influence by the time we get there. I don't think we will, but it would be nice if we did. We're working on all of these constructions. We're working on our mega structures. We're working on getting additional, Brill refugees. I mean, they're welcome here, absolutely. And the end of the Republican Brill regions. So yeah, we absolutely take in those refugees, but they gotta leave their bodies at the door. There we go. Perfect. So we've almost assimilated all of these people already. That's going quite quickly. I like it. We just finished up over here in J, and we definitely want to colonize this. There we go. And let's start building our other orbitals here. So we need an orbital here. This will be a minor orbital. And then over this way, we would build a major orbital here. This is a fairly small system, but we would build a major orbital here and a minor orbital here. Okay, something along the lines of that. That looks good. How's that second fleet doing? 46%. Okay, we definitely need more minor artifacts. This is not surprising, and we can downgrade the quality of our ships if necessary. So we just finished up over here in Borbo as well, and we should colonize here. Borbo Prime. Sounds good. And from here, we're going to want to build a bunch of orbitals again. So we determined that we are getting at least some of the 59 alloys, at least some of the alloys, and that's okay. To be honest, I would rather have the minerals than the alloys right now. We have good alloy production, and I'm okay with giving these up in exchange for just crazy amounts of minerals that we can then turn into alloys probably more efficiently. So this is all fine. We'll get all of these orbitals queued up. That will take some amount of time. We don't want to do the arc furnace. That is not going to be a thing, but we can certainly head over this direction. There's definitely a lot of orbitals here, so this is going to be a pretty good system for this, absolutely. As we'd expect from a system that we chose to put an arc furnace in. So that looks good, something along the lines of that. That'll take a while. Cool. So all is looking good there. We can start thinking about another fleet or two. We could queue up a Titan, except that we're lacking the minor artifacts right now. The CAR Bengal just finished up in Kaid, and it looks like, yeah, that's all we needed done here. So we can move this over to another location, like Rosier, where it can think about... Actually, maybe in Hobbit? Yeah, we'll head to Hobbit. Where it can think about building an additional location. Perfect. So we established a colony on Siggy Prime, and we absolutely do want to put in a robot assembly plant there. That'll be perfect. Any other jobs needed here? Yes, this tech world. Absolutely get a research complex upgrade going there. This mining world. Ooh. Yes, we're still kind of low on our minerals, so let's get a mining district in here. 5 jobs needed here. Hang on. 5 jobs. This must be where the refugees went. We'll build 2 extra mining districts there. That sounds good. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Cool. Ah, this is the new species from the other dimension. Okay, do we need to get them assimilated over? We do. So we're going to get them assimilated. By the time they get assimilated, hopefully we'll have those jobs available for them. So we just finished up our shield hit points. We're going for energy weapon damage next. Okay, that is fine. I think it just chooses whatever finishes fastest in the auto select, which is completely and totally okay. Offer association status, we vote yes on everything, so that sounds good. Well, it is past time to put a cut in here. I got a little into that complete lack of doing anything. I don't know how that happened, but it is past time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue doing apparently nothing and enjoying it immensely. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy Magar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Tommy Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.